It's the Dope Show with Pjay and DK. Look, I know a lot has been going on this week. You might have missed some of it, but it's okay because we're covering all of it. Drake sitting down with Lebron, Kehlani's pregnant, and then Black China's up to her antics again. We're gonna figure it all out. Let's go.
Dope gang versus everybody. Dope gang versus everybody. Dope gang versus everybody.
Because I'm shake this, bitch, I'm dying shake this. Live shake this, bitch, I'm dying shake this. Live shake this, bitch, I'm dying shake this. Live shake
Do people even say A anymore? Welcome to the Dope Show.
It's the Dope Show. The Dope Show.
My Millie Rock is not sturdy.
The Dope Show. It's the Dope Show. The Dope Show. It's a slow bounce. The Dope Show.
Episode 4 of the Dope Show.
DK.
Pjay and Korleone. Not in that order.
Woo. Where my assistant? My assistant. My assistant. My assistant. My assistant. My assistant. Where my assistant? My assistant. My assistant. My assistant. My assistant.
You don't have one.
Oh, she get my coffee, my cream. She is such a dream.
Hey.
So we're back again with some updates. I want to start off actually by giving you guys some addendums to the previous episode. There's a couple things I'm kind of. Are we gonna keep the music or no?
It's hard.
Reviewing the footage, notice that I basically said I didn't know what the hell Kanye's point was and why he's doing these things. But now that I've actually gone back and done some research, I actually watched the video with him and Trump at the White House. Now I can clearly say that there were some objectives.
Damn. Feels like the Declaration of Independence.
Hey, this is not a cakewalk. Ah! So, Kanye.West and Jim Brown. Jim Brown is a former NFL star. I guess he could be considered a star. Around the O.J. Simpson era. Jim Brown had it popping. I'm going to tell you. In late 80s, I was under 21 at the time, and I was getting a couple invites to Jim Brown's house parties, which turned out to find out were actually sex parties. Thank God I never made it to the invites. I don't know why I didn't go, but thank God.
Show me the sex party.
I'm not trying to be going there under 21. Who knows where I'd be today? Turn out, or I could be the biggest star in the world.
Protect yourself and
naughty.
But
I don't want to go to Jim Brown's sex parties. You get burnt out like that. You want? I'm not no hoe. I mean, come on now.
That would make the men hoes too, though.
They were. That's fine. The invites actually came from artists. Well, they're people.
Name them out.
Never mind.
Say their names.
Nope, won't be going there. Some of Kanye's objectives in the meeting. First of all, there was a lot of ass licking on both sides. Trump sat at his desk. He basically sat there and entertained Kanye as he spewed all types of craziness.
I think it'd be cool for them to be Trump factories because he's a master of industry. He's a builder. And I think it'd be cool to have Yeezy ideation centers.
Let's see.
You gonna fuck Kanye over, Mark.
Yes, you know I love you.
I know. But I don't want to put you in that spot. But
No, I'm standing in that spot. I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug right here. I love this guy right here.
Yeah. Come here. That's really nice. And that's from the heart. I didn't want to put you in that position, but that's from the heart. Special guy. These two are special people.
Dude, so let's see.
Maybe not.
So it was actually Trump and his son-in-law Jared Kushner, married to Ivanka.
I don't know Kushner, but he sounds like a good go into the shop and ask for that Kushner.
He probably is. He probably
get
is.
that Jared Kushner.
So yeah.
Top shelf.
So Kanye wants. Okay, so here's Trump. He starts off by getting props by Jim Brown, who seemed to only mumble. I couldn't understand a word. They need to caption it under his statements. But Trump thanked him. Yes, unemployment is down. Yes, salaries are up. The median income is up. Yes, the economy's doing great. I spoke to Obama. there's no more missiles threats and no more nuclear threats in Korea. I spoke to Obama. He said that was always his biggest issue, and I've resolved it. Well, I almost resolved it. I've almost resolved it. We're on the way to resolving it. It's not quite resolved, but we're getting there.
Okay.
So as they're doing that, Kanye's nodding. He has his MAGA hat on, and he then comes out to say he wants reform. He wants education reform. He wants prison reform. He wants welfare reform. He feels like welfare is a trap for the Black Americans specifically. Not being allowed to have the father in the house.
I know a couple people who are on welfare.
They're caught in the wheel, They're caught in the wheel.
Yeah, I know.
We all kind of are, but there's like smaller wheels and different types of wheels.
Man.
So some people are in
if you're dependent on that EBT, and you're an able-bodied man or woman, you're abusing the system. Period. Unless you're a felon or something and you can't get work, if you can get work and you are choosing to instead stay home and get like fake disability and all that other stuff, then you are abusing the system. You're making it worse for all of us. So.
All us working folks. All of us folks in that other wheel, that working. They were gonna go have lunch and I guess discuss things further.
That's what politicians do. And Kanye is not even a politician. They talk about what's going to happen, but they don't talk about how we're going to lower taxes. We're going to all that stuff, but they never say how they're going to do it.
Exactly. So he did a lot of rambling of other things. They mentioned Kim Kardashian and her work with the early prison release of the prisoner Johnson, the lady who she had an excessive, or they call it she had a heavy sentence, overly sentenced.
That's cool. More celebrities should be
She's working on someone else. They were talking about him. He's 16
you know what, Kim? I don't hate Kim. I like that she's doing that. I just feel like Kim's trying to look really black, like really black.
Well, her kids are, so.
Okay, but she's supposed to teach them that they're mixed with two things. You know what I mean?
Maybe she is. We're not there. We don't know.
I'm saying she's trying to look black, and you're trying to argue with me about it.
I'm not arguing.
I'm saying, well, her kids are.
I'm just giving a perspective.
Everybody knows that already. Her kids are black. Yes. Okay. Half. But she needs to be Armenian. She's not black. That's one thing pissing me off about her lately. But her doing that, getting that lady out early, that's cool. And I think a lot more celebrities should be doing that. Looking into people whose cases have gone overboard, who had Meek Mill type judges, and who, are maybe in there for weed, which is legal now. So, kudos, Kim, for that. Stop it with the spray tan, man. Too much spray tan.
So, he also spoke a lot about mental health needs in the community. He brought up Chicago a lot, being the Midwest, bringing industry back, bringing manufacturing back from China back to the U.S., creating jobs. He said that black boys, he grew up without a father. He brought up in Chicago the high rate of single homes with no fathers, how that affects the boys, their mentality, it's a mental health crisis. It's nationwide, but he's speaking of Chicago specifically, and he wants to create changes in resources and things of that nature.
Did Kanye have a dad?
He said he did not.
Because he's clearly going through mental
now
health.
I think he does. I think they've connected at this point.
Because he clearly has mental health issues, so I see why he's trying to go through this. So it makes sense.
If he has the wherewithal and the resources to get things done and to be effective in doing so without harming a whole mass amount of people in the process, then more power to him. And
watch him prove everybody wrong.
Journey.
Well, he proves everybody wrong.
Good for us.
And all this stuff he's talking about doing, he actually does. And everybody who's been talking shit is
time will tell. Okay.
We can move on to Kanye still. Drake versus Kanye. Drake had an interview with LeBron on HBO. His HBO show called The Shop. It's where they sit in the barbershop and they talk about things you talk about in the barbershop. Women, politics, stuff like that. But LeBron and Drake took this one, I don't know if to specifically talk about this, but to talk about the whole Pusha T beef and why he didn't respond.
That was a part of the
about it.
conversation,
Yeah.
right? It was a part of the conversation. It was the more interesting part of the conversation. He and LeBron are clearly friends. He doesn't interview typically, so
No,
Drake
at all.
does not.
At all.
So for him
After
to-
Rolling Stone did that to him, Rolling Stone did a horrible interview on him, and after that he just stopped being interviewed.
Thanks, Rolling Stone. But the interview, it was short but sweet. He asked some straight up questions.
How long was
It was like the whole show.
Can we roll it? Matter of fact, can we roll the clip?
Son.
Oh my God.
I tell him I'm having trouble with my son's mother. We had a conversation. I shared my. So I wake up and all these dates are out one by one, all around June 15th, by the way.
Correct.
One's May 31st, one's June, whatever.
First, second, June this, June
whatever.
that.
Then the next 2 days, whatever, I wake up now to this text from him, like passive, like sends me something I did. Yo, I love you, brother. Lift Yourself comes out with him just talking nonsense. I'm like, oh,
She really pooped that route now.
oh, this guy's trolling. This guy's trolling me.
fucking with you,
Yeah, he's. This was like a manipulative, like I want to break you, thing. So I said, all right, I'm gonna go back to distancing myself again. I know what this is, and then the first album drops, and of course there's this song towards me that you produced. That's
Kanye.West supposedly manipulated Drake into, working with him on Drake's album, and on Drake's album he had stuff to say about his son and other things. And then what actually happened was Drake helping Kanye with his album. So Kanye supposedly took all that information that Drake gave him about his album and gave it to Pusha T for the diss.
Correct.
And what else?
And because of that, it's a problem. Well, also he added.
Between them.
Yeah, it's between them. But he added that his producer, 40, that's producer, right?
His producer and longtime childhood, not childhood, I don't know about childhood, longtime friend. Producer and longtime friend, 40. And he pretty much not almost, but a lot of Drake songs, especially the early ones, were produced by his friend 40. 40 has MS. Multiple sclerosis. Sclerosis. I was right? Thank you, my intern. Got it. Multiple sclerosis. It's deadly when not. It is. Yeah. What? Our intern is a nurse, so she looked at me with this. It can be deadly if it's not treated right. Right? So, Kanye brought up his friend potentially maybe dying one day because of his disease. And that's why Drake said that the diss went too far. He said, you can talk about my family, talk about my kid, whatever, but you don't talk about my friend who has a disease that people all around America are suffering from, all around the world.
wishing death on my friend that has MS. I study rap battles for a living. Now, when you mention defenseless people who are sick in the hospital that passed away, that really sent me to a place where, you know, I just believed then and believe now that there's just a price that you have to pay for that.
He didn't necessarily say you can talk about my kid. He said you can talk about me as a, they call him a deadbeat.
As a deadbeat dad.
Which, you know, he knows better. So when you know better, you don't trip off of things so much. Usually hit dogs holler, is that how they call it? When something hits you.
Millennials.
When something hits home.
I say millennials when she says old phrases like hit dogs holler. No one's ever heard that. Go ahead. Millennials.
When something hits home, usually someone gets defensive and they bark back. But when you really know the truth and it's like, okay, you can shrug things off more easily and let things roll off your back. So by Drake not releasing his diss, which he did admit to writing, he said he went really dark and dirty with it. He did not feel comfortable with releasing that.
But let us not also forget, Drake did bring up his fiance.
Okay.
Let's not forget that.
It wasn't anything that wasn't already it wasn't like he said anything or revealed anything.
Yeah, and she's not dying of a disease. Like, that's, you know.
Yeah, how low did he really go? I mean, she might have needed some love.
Oh, can we put
she
the
might have a business, an Instagram business she's promoting.
Can we
she
put
got
the,
something out of this.
Can we put the Steve Harvey clip in here? Who's Pusha T?
He said something about you. Who? Pusha T. What is this broke ass boy? Where he come from? Pusha T don't help me with none of my bills. Ain't sending none of my kids through school. Pusha T don't answer my prayers. Pusha T don't give me health. Pusha T. Who the is Pusha T?
Okay. Who the is Pusha? Yeah.
A lot of the feedback about this interview is that Drake didn't have that same energy when he talked about Kid Cudi, and also who has mental health.
When do you talk about Kid Cudi?
I'm not aware of it, but
I'm not aware of that either. If Drake did diss Kid Cudi, it's because Kid Cudi came out talking about how he was depressed and this and that. I don't remember Drake ever dissing Kid Cudi, but Drake's friend and producer 40 has a disease that's diminishing his health day by day. That is not the same thing, I feel like, as a mental thing that you can kind of get over.
Well, he supposedly has threatened suicide more than once.
Okay, but that sounds like he's calling for Wolf, or he could just be trying to call. And I love Kid Cudi, don't get it twisted, but he did just work on the album with Kanye as well. So how sane can he actually be?
Personally, I feel it's all for publicity, as I mentioned before.
They could all be working together.
It's all a set. Just like this is a set, all of that is a set. They go home at the end of the day, they shake hands, they hug it out. So we're moving on to Black China.
Yeah.
So Black China was being interviewed, and they asked her if she could have the opportunity to get back with one of her exes, would she, and who? And she said, Rob, maybe. I don't know, we'll see, or something to that effect. So maybe because of Dream, I'm thinking.
No. Black China is on my Nicki list. I'm gonna call it, instead of a shit list,
I was rooting for you.
I was never rooting for you.
I was all on her team.
I did kind of like her.
That whole Rob stuff got real nasty, and then after that she was
with some
somebody I've never heard of, and I felt like people were just coming at her for clout. And she was buying it.
All right, so
she had Future tattooed on her hand.
Look, so that's what exactly. All that stuff you're bringing up, it just reminds me that Black China is in it for the clout, and she would basically only get back with Rob after she sued him and all this other stuff and their family. Only reason she would get back with him is because she's going broke. That's my opinion.
It could be. Her mom is not even. They're not even speaking anymore. No, I was just saying she and her mother don't even speak anymore. Say it. She and her mother don't even speak anymore, from what I understand. Yikes. And they were pretty tight, so it's it's really sad. Hopefully, whatever she's doing, she's leading to a better path for herself.
Yes, we're praying for all y'all crazies out there.
Kehlani. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone's familiar with Kehlani, the R&B songstress.
Honestly, look. Before my intern put me onto her, I honestly didn't know who she was.
You a fan? Yes.
Our intern's a fan. Kehlani?
Okay.
Kehlani?
I never really connected with her. She didn't know.
I thought she was a lesbian, but now you guys are telling me she's bi.
That's she said.
Everyone's gonna be bi in like 2080 something, if we're so young. Like, but when we get older, everyone's gonna be. I'm telling you.
The new breed.
I'm telling you.
So she interviewed with our favorite podcaster, Nicki Minaj. People were saying it wasn't new news. Everybody's like, oh,
was she hiding?
Nicki's so groundbreaking. She has all the tea. She breaks all the stories, and people are like, this was not new news. I didn't know.
She's pregnant currently. Broke her damn career. That's what she broke.
She's just creating new streams of revenue, which you should be doing. I mean, I think if she's doing a good job.
We're talking about Kehlani, not Nicki right now. What was Kehlani?
I was just saying she was being interviewed by this person.
Okay.
And it came out that, she talked to her about her pregnancy. She said that she and the father are both bisexual. They are figuring everything out, and she asked her about marriage and things. She's not interested. I'm not really sure why I'm talking about her. I think
it's news.
Someone else put it in here.
It's news.
I don't really know, but all I know is I did hear
she is pregnant, and that we can just leave it like that. Kehlani's pregnant. Her baby daddy is
4 months pregnant.
4 months pregnant.
So she's out of the danger zone of her pregnancy.
And her baby daddy is also a bisexual man.
Correct.
All right.
And I want to know who this guy. Do we know who he is?
Supposedly he's been in all her photos and videos.
But do we know? We don't know who he is. Though. He's just he's somebody. He might be somebody. So I'm gonna do the next one. Sway Lee from Ray Shrimmer, half of Ray Shrimmer, the other half being Uncle Jimmy, Slim Jim, one of my favorite lyricists. Asking rappers to cancel Gucci, not Gucci Mane.
I think he's not even just talking to rappers.
Goooo. Yeah, but look. I read a funny comment.
You don't understand our reach.
I read a funny comment. He's talking about rap. He's talking rappers when he said that.
When he says reach, though, he means that we have reach.
Oh yeah, to other people. But he's not talking about Gucci Mane. He's not talking about Goooo. He's not talking about Burr, Mr. Ice Cream, face tat. He's talking about Gucci, the brand, the brand of clothing.
Right. Sounds like my ex-husband.
Sounds like what happened. Sounds like what happened to me is maybe I guess what I don't know the story. It's just like the Kehlani.Pregnancy thing. Yes. I don't know the story, but what I will say is what I think is he's kind of going the G-Eazy route, and he's saying, look, we're giving all of these companies all of this promotion, so much promotion, and what are they giving us in return? And that's what I'm thinking.
But a hard time.
That's what I'm thinking. So I think something happened between him and the Gucci brand, and he's saying, you know what? We're promoting them in our videos and our pictures and our songs, and what are we getting in return but flack or whatever happened between them? So, I don't think
take heed to this. Or
I don't wear Gucci, so I'm not part of the y'all should stop wearing Gucci.
Who is he talking to?
He's talking to everybody, but I'm shopping at Burlington Coat Factory, nigga. So once you start once you start telling them that it's done, then
I guess he means fake or real. Don't sport it.
I don't have no fake Gucci. Don't try to come for me. Don't try to come for me.
So, yeah, there's that. Is that it on that?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, unless you have something to say about it.
Cancel Gucci. Well, I mean, Gucci, I'm going to judge based on my own
Gucci, don't be another Cristal.
So feel free to send me any swag. I will judge for myself. I want to.
That's probably not what they're doing. That's probably why he's saying cancel them. Don't turn into Cristal. Don't be racist. Don't turn into Tommy Hilfiger. Don't let me come to find out that Gucci has been racist this whole time, which they probably have been. Like most people.
I pretty much assume they all are. I mean, honestly, that's the way I have to go into things now with that.
Man, we gotta start spending our money. Okay, so I'll take Sway Lee's message and I'll say what he means. This whole underlying thing is he means we need to start spending our money on black-owned businesses, black-owned clothing lines, black-owned, or just people who support the culture, Hispanic,
Well, he should give us
Asian.
some names of other options.
Yeah,
give us some options.
Yeah, don't
Sway
just.
Lee.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
So what's that next?
Floyd Mayweather Sr. So apparently he has now been thrown into the Me Too movement pile of dust bags. He has been accused of allegedly assaulting a woman. I don't know who. Do we have any background on that?
I got it right here. I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay. So Floyd Mayweather Sr. is obviously Floyd Mayweather's father and trainer, I believe.
That nigga's his trainer?
Or a former trainer. I know they were beefing at one point, and then he was with his uncle. But then, is his uncle still alive?
Nobody. The intern don't know that.
His uncle got sick. Well, anyway.
Well, rest in peace to his uncle if he died.
I'm not sure if but he was his trainer growing.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So, a woman by the name of Marsha Bird claims she got into a verbal altercation with Mr. Mayweather Sr. back in September 2017, and outside of the T-Mobile. arena in Vegas. Look, anything having to do with T-Mobile's ghetto. I'm just letting y'all know right now. The T-Mobile store, the T-Mobile arena, all of it. T-Mobile, something's finna go down at a T-Mobile, and it's always gonna happen. She alleges, Miss Marsha alleges, Floyd Sr. dragged her out of his car and repeatedly punched her with closed fists. Though Floyd Sr. was charged with blah blah blah.
That's
anyway,
excessive. Repeatedly?
so what I'm saying is, it doesn't Floyd Jr. have assault cases against him?
Yes.
Okay, so the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and that's what I'll say in that case.
That's so unfortunate. I don't understand why the aggression has to be.
He looks so good in the picture too. He looks like, you know what I mean? Looks like he's been doing well for himself.
Yeah, money will do that.
Yeah, but he couldn't lose it to her.
Money, I think, also gives that illusion that you could just backslap or punch up somebody without any consequence. There's gonna be consequences in the era of the video. This is the era of
like me. My court case next month. I smacked somebody up. Now I got a court case next month, but it wasn't a female. It wasn't a female, and he deserved it. And there's no camera
not
footage.
physically a female.
Yeah, he's probably mentally. I know.
So I don't know about you, but I miss Amy Winehouse. I was a fan of hers.
I don't miss her. She was cool with me. I don't miss her.
I wasn't a Uber stan, but I mean, you know, I liked her energy, her music.
Yeah, sure, but I don't miss her. I wish Amy Winehouse was making music right now.
Well, apparently other people
But I'll go to her concert.
feel the same as me because they're gonna do hologram of her for a concert. Not sure if it's her. I'm sure it's probably a part of another tour, but it says hologram tour.
But you're asking
is
me
it a hologram tour? So is it going to be other holograms? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
It sounds like hologram tour. Sounds like it could be her. It could be Pop. Could be.
I do not want to see her and Pac on the same stage. I don't care if
it's the hologram.
I don't care
tour.
if it's a hologram. I don't want to see Amy Winehouse and Pac on the
Who
same
else
stage.
would be on that?
Prince, Dub,
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, them and
Lisa
her.
Left Eye.
Oh,
damn! Why does nobody care about Lisa Left Eye no more?
We care about her.
No, I mean like, man,
we care.
They got us fucked up. I'm talking to Lisa. They got us fucked up. Alright, baby. We can just go like. Now you guys have under. You found out that my intern is my wife to be because I said babe. I was trying to keep her a secret. Come out here.
Can't keep her.
Come out here.
Marquise.
Bring yourself.
Hi. Hello. Hi.
She's wearing the
Get in front of the
DJI
camera.
TV.
Show the shirt.
The
Spin.
DJI
Give it a
TV
spin.
t-shirt.
Give it a spin. Give it a spin.
Dope gang in this
There you go.
bitch.
There you go. There you go. All right.
Available on dopestalliance.com under the merch tab.
Alright, so
all these episodes are there as well. So dopestalliance.com.
Let me start promoting these episodes.
Absolutely.
You
So
got
wrap up on the
I don't want to
hologram.
see Pac on with no hologram.
Wrap up on the hologram is he doesn't
Well,
want to see
unless
Pac
you had any
with
more to
Amy
say.
Winehouse, and I'm basically not.
I was really gonna look up something. I was gonna see if it was a whole hologram thing, like with all holograms, or
we can look into it and bring it back to you. So I feel like maybe they should do it in the cemetery. I mean, a hologram concert in a cemetery.
What?
On Halloween. Could you imagine?
acting totally different. Shout out Rod Davis.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't go. You went to the scary scary farms.
Knots.
Nuts. That's what I said. Nuts. I'm thinking of
Intern?
applesauce. Anyway, all right. So
5
we're wrapping
minutes.
up this episode.
That's it. Can you see me?
I'm gonna interject. I do have hair. I noticed that it makes me look kind of bald, but I have hair and I have edges, and I'm getting twisted. Let's go.
Yeah. Look, dope show episode number photo. Pull up in a photo. Look, you already know. I got a girl, so me and you can't take no photo. Look, you know what it is, what it ain't. All these niggas mad, fuck it, going hard in the paint. Look, I don't really care about nothing. Except my mom in the dank. Look, all these niggas really pressing. I don't really get the issue. If you really gotta bring it to my front door, nigga, like a Bush didn't get a tissue. You know, look, came into, you know, came through with the new flow like, flow. New flow. You claim to be a pimp, but never get no new hoes. Look, I don't get it, I don't get it. High school got suspended, got suspended. High school got expelled, got expelled. Teacher told me to go to hell. Look, but look at me now. Damn, look at me doing my thing. Look at me doing this shit. All of these niggas is mad. They ain't with the dopest clip. I'm gonna get better next episode.
GITV. We out. Yeah.
Do gang versus everybody. Do gang versus everybody. Do gang versus everybody.